everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we dive into today's episode, which is talking about everything The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, last night's season finale, and everything that has ensued after. Is Monica on Ozempic? Should Kim Kardashian be scared for her life? We're getting into it. We are definitely getting into it. But before we do that, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. So, with that, guys, let's dive right on in. And as you come into the room, be sure to say hi, drop where you're listening from, your candy canes, or any other questions or comments that you have. Let's have a lively chat box. All right, guys? So, let's go. So, overall, loved the episode, even though we already knew what the end was. And if you're new to the candy canes, maybe you didn't know, but if you have been a candy cane for a while, we had already talked about this. We knew that Monica was the blogger Vita Fontees. We talked about it 3 weeks ago. And then we also, one of my conspiracy theories was that Monica was behind the DMs and not Meredith. Because to me, it was pretty clear that production was trying to do a bait and switch. They were trying too hard to make it look like it was Meredith. Even in the beginning of this episode, between Meredith and Heather, they were trying to make us think that it was Meredith behind the DMs, but clearly it was Monica, a classic bait and switch. So it was exciting because at first I thought we already know what's going to happen in the finale. We talked about it a month ago. Like before the holidays, we already knew what was going to happen. But I liked the way that they did it. Like from a cinematography standpoint, sort of like the fade ins and the fades out and the flashbacks and, the dramatic last dinner and everything. Like some scenes were clearly staged, like when all the four girls got together on the beach, they all clearly already knew what Heather was going to say. And you know what? I'm here for it. It's scripted reality. I don't think anybody thinks that this stuff is real anymore. So, like, I don't care that they were clearly acting. Like, I am so here for it. I thought it was a brilliant episode. Um, Now, did anybody else get the Rachel Leviss ick vibes at the very end of the finale when Monica's like, there's so much more to talk about. And I'm like, obviously there's nothing left to talk about. And to me, she looked unhinged, like Rachel Raquel from Scandival at the very end of the reunion, that last 5-minute reunion where she's like, there's so much more to tell. And it was like a big nothing burger. Girl, Monica, bye. It's a big nothing burger. And everyone's like, give these women Emmys for their acting. Can I get a Emmy for my investigative journalism? Like, I would love an Emmy for my content because my theories are 99.9% right all of the freaking time. Shout out to all my candy canes for holding me down. All right, so let's keep going. So let's talk about Heather. Or I'm sorry, yeah, Heather. Heather was on one during this episode. Yes, queen. I love how she played it. Now, I think the biggest question is a couple of things. So the big question is, did production know? But then there's multiple questions baked into that. Did production know when they hired Monica, when they cast her on the show? I personally don't think they did. I don't think production had a clue that Monica was the blogger. I think they found out from Heather. I think they found out when Heather found out. Now, what I think this is, what I think production did have a hand in, I do think that Heather and production got together to decide how they were going to disseminate the information to the rest of the group. So instead of having Heather be in her feelings about finding out and rushing to the groups and exposing Monica, I think production said, hey, Heather Boo, come over here. What did you find out? And I do think that Heather had been talking to production about her suspicions. And so once she got confirmation, she then confirmed with production what her suspicions were. And then together they decided how to handle it, basically how to block out the finale, how to block out the scenes. let's do the beach scene when we get all the OGs together to talk. Let's get the Bermuda Triangle dinner together. Well, everybody goes after Monica as a united front. All of that, I think, was very much produced and very much scripted. Not that they had an actual script, but they probably had an outline and all of that stuff. I don't think production actually knew Monica was behind the blog. I think that they found out when Heather found out. I don't think production's that savvy. And also, it's pretty clear that Andy Cohen at BravoCon had not seen the episodes. And again, I don't blame Andy Cohen for this. Whoever is on Andy Cohen's team, they are not keeping him abreast to what's going on. Because if you guys, there's a clip floating around of Andy Cohen and Jeff Lewis from BravoCon. And Andy Cohen is singing Monica's praises, and he's doing it in a way that is genuine, not in a way where he's trying to keep the secret, keep it on the low. He's doing it from a place where he clearly has no freaking clue what Monica did and who she really was. Because Jeff was like, she seems really sketch, and he's like, no defending her. And again, it's just like Andy Cohen, tell me you need to retire from your job without telling me you need to retire from your job, because he just isn't prepared. And the thing is, Andy Cohen could go do other stuff. He's hosting a new show on Peacock about exes. Go do that. Watch What Happens Live, but you need to step away from Housewives and the other shows in any type of host capacity. You can still executive produce. Executive producers usually actually don't really do anything. They're just the people at the top. The producers are the actual people who are in the field in the day-to-day actually working with the talent. So Andy's not working with the talent. He's an executive producer. He's not doing any of that stuff, okay? That's why when he's on Watch What Happens Live and there will be new talent on Bravo, they will be like, oh my God, it's so nice to meet you, Andy. Even though he's the executive producer on the show, there are people on particularly shows like Summer House, Winter House, even some of the Housewives, and the new show, Martha's Vineyard. They will come on Watch What Happens Live as a guest, and they'll be like, it's so nice to finally meet you, even though he's an executive producer on these shows they've never met. Because a lot of entertainment executive producers, they don't actually meet the talent a lot of the times in particular formats like this. I was like, Andy had no idea what the hell was going on with Monica. I don't think production knew until it came out. So there's that. Now, let's talk about the Heather and Jen and the black eye. I believe Heather 100%. We're going to get more into what Jennifer's response was. Jen was like, no, I didn't do it, blah, blah, blah. Jen, stop lying. Go back to prison and have several seats. Boo-boo, okay? Just have several seats. I do believe Heather. This is what I think happened, and we'll find out at the reunion, and we'll see if we think Heather is telling the truth or not. So I think that they were all wasted drunk. It started out as a little bit of fun. Maybe something happened that triggered Jen and she swung at Heather, or they were just being rowdy and somehow Heather fell or she hit her or something happened. I think it was basically they were just wasted and it got violent. That's what I think happened. But I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. Okay, now let's get to Little Miss Monica. Here we go. So in the episode, obviously Monica told Whitney what Lisa said about her to get back at Lisa for making up with Meredith. Because as we know, Monica loves to plant these little seeds, drop these little bombs, and then watch it explode, and then watch all the women go after each other. Classic Monica move. Pretty much hook, line, and sinker. Now, at the dinner, it was so scary how Monica flawlessly lied through her teeth about who was behind the DMs, not knowing what was going on, throwing Meredith under the bus, acting like she was the one who was doing the DMs when she knew it was her the entire time. Now, I've been saying this since day one. Monica is dangerous. She's a pathological liar. She lacks empathy and remorse. And she's scary. And she's very, very scary. And that's why I was saying this woman lied not only to her own mother, but she lied on her own mother. Everyone was like, no, her mother is so toxic. If Monica's mother was so toxic, then how come they're no longer speaking? Because if her mother was actually as toxic as she says she is, they would be back kikiing, laughing, back in cahoots, back being toxic. But the fact that her and her mother are not speaking proves that Monica's mother, Linda, knows who her daughter is. Because you can have an evil daughter and not be an evil mother. Monica's mother knows who she is, okay? And that's why she's not talking to her. And Monica got up on that screen and lied on her mother, tried to make her mother out to be this horrible monster of a person, when the whole time Monica was really single white femaling the entire cast. Everybody owes Monica's mother a big apology. Not me, because I was riding with Linda from day one. Because again, it was obvious. It was obvious. Okay. Now, as we know, Monica was the person behind Reality Von Tease. And Reality Von Tease was the blog that was exposing Jen Shah. And then after exposing Jen Shah, started exposing and lying on the other ladies from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Okay. Now, let's get into my slide that I have on debunking Monica's reasons for trolling Jen Shah's account. And this is why it's a lie, okay? This is why it's a lie. So Monica claims that she and the other reality TV Von Tease bloggers wanted to expose Jen Shah because she was defrauding the elderly and was such a bad person, such a bad boss. Girl, stop lying. Stop lying. And I'm going to break down exactly why this is a lie. Number one, shout out to Tanisha, the hairstylist, the MVP of the frickin' season and the episode. Tanisha already confirmed that it was Monica who started the account and was ahead of the account. The only other sidekick actively using the account was Koa. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Koa, Koa. He was the fashion designer that was designing the dresses and clothes for Jen Shah. He was the designer that in the leaked video clip of Jen Shah losing her mind on him, that's the same Koa. Koa and Monica were the two behind Reality Von Tease. And Tanisha had all the receipts, and so do I, because I grabbed them from her Instagram. So we'll watch her Instagram story, and then we'll also look at the receipts. Okay? Now, I saw someone say, oh, Tanisha's downplaying her role in it. No, she's not. Like, can we just stop blaming everything on the Black woman, okay? She was not downplaying it. Tanisha was being a good, loyal friend. But then Tanisha, just like she said, realized, Monica, you're moving really grimy. I had to do a restraining order with you. And I'm not about to jeopardize my bag and my reputation for you and Koa. So no, thank you, ma'am. No, thank you. And Monica likes to, what's the word I'm looking for? Monica likes to connect herself with people who she thinks identifies with feeling less than. And I'll tell you what I mean by that before I continue to break this down. The reason why Monica felt so comfortable exposing herself and what she was doing with Tanisha is because she thought that Tanisha was either beneath her, maybe because she's Black, maybe because she's a hairstylist. So she thought, you know what, you're like me or you're less than me. You don't have any power. I can just go ahead and say whatever I want and expose myself to you because I'm not threatened by you. Very similar to what she did to Mary. Even though Mary has more money for her than her, Mary could literally buy Monica's whole entire life. Did you notice Monica's energy was always very different with Mary? I think it was because Monica, maybe not identified is the right word, but I think Monica felt more comfortable around Mary because Mary was Black. And I'm not making this a race thing. When I say by that, what I mean is I think she felt more comfortable around her because she wasn't as intimidated by her. Even though Mary does have the money and the stature, Mary clearly is different than the rest of the women for obvious reasons. You know, her energy towards Mary was always she was very disarmed around her. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's why. And again, I don't mean like racism. I don't mean it that way at all. If that makes any sense. Anyway, let's keep going. But the reason why Monica's lying about multiple people being on it, because the number one person she said was, oh, Tanisha started the account. It was her account. Tanisha is out here doing people's hair for Gabrielle Union and all these other people. She's dipping it and doing it. She's not on the show as talent and all this and that. And it's a classic manipulation tactic. She blamed Tanisha for two reasons. Number one, she realized Tanisha was the source. Tanisha was the source who flipped on her with Heather. Because who else could it be? Tanisha is Heather's hairstylist, right? So Tanisha is Heather's hairstylist. Heather is the one exposing Monica. In the moment Monica realizes, oh, Tanisha dimed me out. Classic manipulation tactic. Let me say that the person who dimed me out is actually the bad person, so that way I can discredit the source. If I can make them discredit Tanisha, then that means everything she says about me is in question. But I'm so happy they did not take the bait. Heather was like, no, boo-boo, not today. What did you do? Don't throw Tanisha under the bus for this. This is what you did, okay? So that's a classic manipulation tactic. Another reason why her reason is a lie. She said that they were exposing Jen because she, was such a horrible boss and she was, stealing from the elderly. Girl, bye. Girl, bye, girl, bye, girl, bye. First of all, you weren't exposing Jen's fraud on your blog. You weren't. Jen's fraud got exposed on the Sprinter van when the feds came and got her. What you guys were exposing on the blog was secret tapes of Jen, screaming and all of this stuff, and the women's financials and who's sleeping with whose husband is sleeping with men, and who owes the IRS all of this money, and who's renting houses, and blah, 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 blah. It was just like Heather said, you were profiting from the gossip, the lies, and the secret videos and tapes that you took of these people behind their backs. Now, Jen is a monster. Yes, all day. Get that. However, Monica was exploiting her for Monica's own personal gain. She was not Robin Hood, stealing from the rich to give to the poor. She did not have this moral conviction, self-righteous thing. Girl, bye, stop lying. And you know how we know this? Number one, you infiltrated Jen's inner circle and you took part in all the perks. The shopping, the access, the money, and allegedly even the thievery. Because you were caught at Meredith's store with Jen when allegedly one of the purses went missing. What happened to Lisa's $60K ring? You're laughing, you're kikiing, you're having fun, and then you have single white female, very dangerous stalker behavior. Tanisha dropped the video, and we have it because we'll watch the clip of what Tanisha said. Tanisha dropped the video of you doing drive-bys of Jen's house and asking for Heather's address. So how does any of that add up to you having some moral compass and some moral drive trying to expose Jen because she's so horrible? Number one, if she's so horrible as a boss, quit. We live in America, and for now, there's no indentured slaves for now, because who knows what's going on with the world. Anyway, if she is so horrible to you, quit your job. And number one, we know that you didn't need the job because the entire time you were still married to your husband. You didn't get divorced until October of 2023. You didn't get divorced until 3 months ago. So the entire time you were working as Jen Shah's assistant, your husband was financially supporting you and your children. So it's not like you needed this job and you couldn't quit because of finances. Because I understand that some people are in jobs that are horrible because they truly don't have a choice. If they quit the job, they won't eat. Their kids won't eat. That I understand. That you got to just grit it and put your head down and grind out until you can find something better. That I understand. That is not you. You were married to your husband who was financially supporting you and your children. Quiet as it's kept, he's still supporting you and his children, as he should. As he should. But don't act like you're destitute and you needed this job. You stalked this woman. In my Morgan Wade voice, Kyle stalked me. You stalked her. You stalked her to get close to her. And then you want to complain about how she is as a boss, yet you manipulated your way to be her employee. So this whole narrative of we just wanted to expose Jen because she's so horrible is a bunch of malarkey and lies. You didn't want to expose Jen. You wanted to become Jen. That's really what this was all about. Monica, you wanted her life. You wanted the money. You wanted it by any means necessary. You wanted the fame. You wanted the clothes. You wanted the clout. Episode 2 of this season, you up here crying like a big old baby over a Louis Vuitton bag because you want to fit in with these women. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Another reason why we know she's lying is because her mask fell. So, playing devil's advocate, let's say you really did have this moral heart and you had this, moral compass of why you wanted to expose Jen. Then how come the moment you were exposed, your mask fell and you were so evil? You had evil and vitriol and hatred in your voice. The way you went off on Lisa, the way you went off on Heather was disgusting. All of your jealousy, all of your hate was exposed. The way you were speaking to them, like they did something, like you were talking to them like they did something to you. The way you were talking to these women was like they just slept with your man. Like they just, hurt your child. You were speaking to these women like they did something to you. And guess what? They didn't. They didn't do a damn thing to you, Monica. You did something to them. But the way you were going after them was like they owed you money. And that's how you know where your real intentionality is. Because when you are exposed for doing something and you have actually good intentions, you usually lead with an apology and remorse. But when your intentions are bad and evil and foul and messed up, you lead with anger and aggression. Like, say I was doing something really shady, but in my mind, I thought I was doing it for the right reason. If I got caught, I would be like, listen, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I know I was moving kind of grimy, but I was doing it because blah, 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 blah. My response isn't the vitriol that this woman was throwing at these people. Like, they haven't done anything to you. You're just jealous, and it's literally seeping out of your body. Seeping. You wanted these women's lives. And this is why she is very scary and very dangerous. She literally stalked these women. Stalked them. This isn't funny. Like, I don't know why people are like, Princess Monica. This isn't funny. She literally is a stalker. This is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs times. This is restraining order territory. This is cuckoo. You don't believe me? Let's hear Tanisha, because she had a lot to say about it. Okay. Wait, let me find it. 1 sec, guys. 1 sec.
How you feel? Phenomenal. True.
Liar. This girl lies through her teeth, and I cannot wait to start posting these receipts. Oh my god. Spoiler alert. Just so we know. Let's get it going. It was Tanisha's account.
I did not start the account. It was Tanisha. That account. Why don't you tell us? Tell us what you did on Reality Box Teens. It's a fair question since it's bullied all of us for 4 years.
You just said that you partially ran the account, Monica.
She didn't partially run the account. She ran that account.
Honesty.
I didn't do shit. Monica!
What did you do with the account? You need to own it right now.
She's thinking of her lies. Thinking of her lies.
Okay.
Here she goes. She's formulated a story. Pause. Let's. Monica, she hated Jen, and now she is Jen 2.0. She is a liar, a deceiver. Wow. Comfortably sitting there lying. Comfortably sitting there lying. It's okay. I've got a receipt to back up everything that I've ever dealt with for this woman. Ever. Can't wait. That was a lot. Okay. How I will start this off is by saying our reputations in this city precede us. If you've known me, if you've worked with me, if you've been around me, you know my character. If you know Monica, if you've experienced Monica, if you've seen what she's capable of, it's wild. I definitely have a lot to say. I definitely have a lot of evidence to show that she is lying, completely lying. I just want to make sure I say it with a from a level-headed place. Okay. I was fully aware of that page, fully around for all of it. At that time in my life, I just really thought I was supporting my friends and doing the right thing by supporting them because they had gone through traumatic experiences with someone else. And so this is what they wanted to do. And I was like, I don't have no beef with this girl, but hey, I mean, if this is how you guys feel like I can best support you and your trauma, then me being who I was and loyal to a fault, obviously, supported them and thought that this was how I could support them. As my career started taking off, I fell more and more back from that group of people, Monica, and stopped wanting to hear about it, and it's just what it is. And then that screenshot that was shown, like, we're in Holiday, give us Heather's address. Her and Koa would literally go and sit in Jen's freaking neighborhood for hours. We would always be like, girl, what's the freaking point? Like, go home. And she would always try to figure out all the ladies' addresses and stuff. But I'm like, Heather's my new client. I'm not going to tell you her address. Like, what? I know what you're capable of. And now you're doing it to me in real time. Like, literally got a boyfriend in my neighborhood, 17 seconds from my house. I timed it. Like, I literally had to file a police report because the girl likes to go to people's neighborhoods. And because I knew what she was capable of, I freaking filed a police report. Like, this girl knows no bounds. Like, she knows no bounds. She knows no bounds.
This is what I'm in disguise.
Make me a matchmaker, make me a match.
Driving by Jen's house. Low key, I think I might have found my father's actual descent. So, yeah, Tanisha came with all of the receipts, and here is some of them. So, these are some of the screenshots that she had talking about, Jen doing drive-bys, asking her for Heather's address. And then also, it proves that it was Monica and Koa who were actually doing the posting of the site, and it was their site. None of it says that Tanisha was posting anything. In fact, Tanisha was saying, don't do it. Take a step back. Can you take me off of the group chat? I don't want to be a part of this anymore. So all the receipts Tanisha had was backing up her story. Monica basically was a stalker and was, just doing the absolute most. And Tanisha was kind of like the friend who was like, oh, okay, like whatever. This is crazy, but do you, boo boo? You know what I mean? Absolute sick. And let's see if I think I have another one. Oh, that's from Monica. But super sick, super crazy. Yikes. Now I have another theory I'm working on. This one's a little bit more contrite. But since we're talking about Monica being a crazy stalker, this is why Kim Kardashian should be worried. Just super quick. Both Jen and Monica have an unhealthy obsession with her. Number one, Jen wanted Kim to represent her during her trial before pleading guilty. I mean, literally wanted Kim Kardashian to be on her legal team. Now she wants Kim to play her in her bioepic. If there's a Lifetime movie about Jen's life, she wants Kim to play it. Girl, bye. Monica also referred to Kris Jenner talking about her children's sex life as a model for parenting. Remember? Not this last episode, but the episode before that, or maybe the one before that when they're all on the bus, and she asked Heather if her daughter was having sex, and Heather was like, excuse me? That's a boundary that I'm not going to cross. I'm not going to talk about my daughter's sex life, particularly on camera, and also not with you. And she was like, Kim Kardashian or Kris Jenner does it all the time. Seems like it worked out. I also found a clip, and I got it so we can watch it, of Monica cosplaying Kris Jenner while hanging out with Jen. I mean, it's bizarre. And then as you can see, physically morphing into her with their looks and plastic surgery. Particularly Monica now, because she's like rail thin. And we'll get into that, whether she's taking Ozempic or what the deal is. But it's really psycho. But let's watch her cosplaying Kris Jenner.
I wanted to get you guys on here because my mother came in here and I'm like, what the hell is she saying Kimberly for?
She was young
Kimberly, let's go.
She's
Ariana Grande asked me to be in her newest video.
Yeah, pretty sure she didn't.
Oh, you are so... Don't be fucking rude.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
That doesn't look like a horrible boss to me. That looks like someone who's having fun and kikiing with their boss, trying to cosplay as the Kardashians. I mean, it's just psycho. And I'm serious, Kim should watch out because Monica is unhinged. What she's done isn't funny. It's not a moment. It would be funny in a moment if it was actually scripted and everybody was in on it. And it was like a scripted TV show. Like if this was actually Gossip Girl or actually Pretty Little Liars, sure. But not when you're playing with real people's lives. Not when you're doing drive-bys of people's houses. I'm sorry, but if someone I don't know is driving by my house and then they lie to me to infiltrate to be a part of my life, restraining order. Restraining order. It's psycho. Absolutely psycho. Ugh. All right, let's get back to talking about the rest of the episode. So Tanisha exposed Monica. We talked all about that. What else? And now, in my personal opinion, I do think that Monica stole from Meredith and Lisa. I think she had no problem being in on the heist. whether it was Lisa's ring, whether it was Jen Shah and her team stealing Meredith's purse. I do think something really shady happened there. Do you know what I mean? It's just so weird. Let me see if I have that clip. I don't know if I do or not. Oh, I do. I do. Let's talk about Meredith and then we can play that clip there. Okay. So Meredith and Lisa this episode, Meredith was vindicated as we all know, which is great because like I said a month ago, Meredith is being set up. She is not behind the DMs. Like it was very obvious that she was just an easy patsy because of the past that she had with Lisa and the SEC filings and all that stuff. But don't forget that Jen Shah, I think, did very similar things that Monica did, where Jen would create fake accounts. That's been a running theme of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City anyway. Think about Angie Harrington and her husband. They created their Finsta accounts. Shah exposed. Remember last season? Her weird husband did the whole apology and how he was so embarrassed, how him and his wife opened up a Finsta account. I mean, that's pretty much what Monica did, you know? And then don't forget, Meredith, when she used to beef with Jen, got a whole cybersecurity team to see if Jen was behind bot accounts going against Brooks. So it's not that big of a reach because it's been a big theme of people in Salt Lake City creating these fake accounts, probably in all of the franchises, but it's been very prevalent in Salt Lake City. What makes Monica different is the level of scheming, of secrecy, of the years. I mean, that they started that account 3 or 4 years ago. We're only on the 4th season. So basically, right when the show started and she knew who the people were, she started this account. So for years, you were doing this and you infiltrated yourself in these people's lives. Then you got on the show and you still lied about it. Very psycho, very, very different. Like, I think what Angie Harrington and her husband did was creepy and weird, but that was more on just some general get back. We don't like Lisa. We don't like Jen. Let's post some stuff up. It was like weird. It's different levels to it. I'm happy that I'm happy that Meredith and Lisa became friends again, even before it turned out that Monica was behind it. I thought that was great. Lisa was ready to lay into Monica, and I was here for it. I loved every second of it, and I love that they became friends again. That's kind of where I land with them. Now, let's talk about the store. So put it down below. Do you think Monica knew or was in on Jen Shah allegedly stealing, like, I don't know if it was like a python, a crocodile, whatever the hell it was, purse from Meredith Mark's store? Let's watch her on the clip and see.
You were in my store, Monica. It is on my security footage. I didn't stand with it in your store. I didn't steal from you. I'm not accusing you of stealing, but Lisa, this is the first time I have been here.
This is so cute. I've never been here. Oh my gosh.
Girl, you in danger. I think that, I don't know if she was the one who stole it, but I do think that she knows if it was Jen who stole it. You know what I mean? Now, do I think Monica stole Lisa's ring? I do. I don't think her $60,000 ring magically evaporated inside a bathroom. It's not like she lost it in the ocean. You know, it's not like she lost it running down the street and it rolled down a hill. I think Monica found the ring, and like always, she told on herself because she said, I helped Lisa find her ring. Not I helped Lisa look for her ring. I helped her find it. Well, if you helped her find it, then it was what? Found. And if it was found, where is it? Where is it? I think the moment she heard it was worth $60,000, she put it right on in her pocket and was like, doop-a-doop-a-doo. I don't know where it is. I don't know what you're talking about. Pipe down over there. Like, girl, stop. And I'm so happy that they joined forces. And this is a big reason why Monica was pissed that they joined forces, because again, Monica's very manipulative. And she knows another classic manipulation move is divide and conquer. The more that she is able to divide the women who have genuine friendships, the easier it is to create chaos and divert the attention from herself. So, as long as Meredith and Lisa were beefing, Lisa and then therefore the group would be more inclined to be against Meredith and for Monica. Not even necessarily for Monica, but Monica could kind of fly under the radar. Let's put all the heat on Meredith. But if Meredith is in good graces with the women, is in good graces with Lisa and Heather, then they can start comparing notes. That's why people want to divide and conquer when they're in battle or in discussion or fighting for any type of territory or whatever it is. Because the more people are divided, the less they come together to share knowledge. And as we know, knowledge is power. And the way and this was actually proven again, because remember my conspiracy theory when I said the reason why Monica went to Lisa and asked her to come with her family was because she knew that Lisa was still mad at Meredith for all of the rumors and the SEC filings and all that stuff. So when she went to Lisa and planted the bug that it was Meredith, doing all this DMing and rumors and stuff, Lisa took the bait. And then what did Lisa do? She ran to Angie. She told Meredith, she cussed Meredith out on the yacht. She's all upset. She's all up in arms. She's talking to Whitney. Whitney's all up in arms. The only person who wasn't up in arms was Heather. Because at that point, Heather already was on to the okie doke. Heather already was just like, this girl is a lie. I'm just going to, go under the radar. That's why when Heather and Meredith had their little sidebars, Heather was like, listen, you need to figure this out. I don't know how you got in this jam with this girl, but you need to get on it. And Meredith's like, I know, I don't know what's going on, but things aren't adding up. The only person who didn't flip on Meredith was Heather, because Heather knew what was up. That's why Monica got so pissed off at the dinner, not last episode, but the episode before, when Lisa and Meredith had made friends again. Because she knew that the more they are friends and sharing information, the harder it would be for her to pin all her stuff on Meredith. See? I was onto Monica from day one. I was like, this chick is a scammer, she's a lie, and she's dangerous. From day one, I was like, watch. Didn't I tell you guys? I'm so happy that YouTube is time-stamped, because the very first video we ever did on Salt Lake City, what did I say about Monica? I said she's a liar and she's a scammer and we got to watch out for her. And I was like, watch. I was like, just wait. And look, came true. All right. Now, Whitney and Angie. Hell has frozen over because Angie finally grew on me. I actually liked Angie this episode. I like her a lot more now. I don't know what it was, but I didn't mind her. I think she's still a bit flat, but I think that's okay. I think sometimes it's okay to have that sort of tofu housewife who can sort of move between groups, very like the Cynthia role, okay? So I don't know, I kind of liked Angie. She finally grew on me. I like her. I liked her a lot more. Now, this is the thing. Do I think Angie had anything to do with Reality Von Tease the way Monica was trying to insinuate? Hell no. This is what I think happened. I think Angie, probably like everybody else on the cast, was following the account, liking certain stories, doing DMs, maybe even leaking stuff, all of that. But do I think that Angie was an active person on the site? Hell no. Not Angie. Not Greek Mafia Angie. Absolutely not. I think that all of the ladies participated in the site the same way anybody would. The same way Kyle Richards comments on page 6. You know what I mean? The same way I don't know, who's like a top actor comments on a post on Variety. Like, it's very, very normal for people to engage on gossip accounts when those accounts are gossiping about them. Doesn't mean any of them knew what was going on behind the scenes or were actively participating in it. So, Monica, please shut up and sit down and have self receipts. Nobody's buying your BS. Nobody's buying it. Angie sent fire emojis. Okay. She laughed at the stories. And like, what? So Angie engaged in an Instagram account? Like, girl, shut up. Like, you're literally grasping at straws. And again, that's how you know she was evil from jump and had no pure intentions to just expose Jen. If that was your intention, why are you so angry at Angie? Why are you trying to throw everybody out under the bus other than yourself? Girl, bye. Whitney is still weird to me. She just needs to stop being jealous of Lisa and Heather's friendship. Like, Whitney to me is exhausting. I don't want to talk about your feelings, Whitney. I don't want to talk about you feeling sexually exploited, Whitney. I don't want to talk about your trauma, Whitney. I'm done, Whitney. Hush. Whitney to me can go. I would rather have Angie than Whitney at this point, to be honest with you. Whitney's exhausting. Every single scene is a contrived therapy session for Whitney's feelings. I'm over it. Stop. Stop, girl. Stop. The whole Heather's book and all of that didn't make any sense. She knew exactly what Heather put in the book. She edited what Heather put in the book. So stop. Stop. And you're just reaching for a storyline. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. Okay. Now, that's kind of what I thought about the season finale. So as always, I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below and stick around because I have a couple more stories to share about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. But before we do that, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's talk about, we'll put it in the chat. Do you want to talk about Monica allegedly being on Ozempic? Or do we want to talk about Jen Shah's response to Heather Gay saying she gave her the black eye? So put it in the chat box, and whatever chat I see first or the most, we will do that one. So put it down below. Dun-da-da. I'll wait, you guys. Amy, we're going to do both, but which one do you want to do first? Jen Shah's response. Okay. Okay, Tay-Tay says Jen Shah's response. Okay, we'll do that one first. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. Okay. All right. One sec, you guys.